I'll tell you. What's happening, everybody? This is GreenBean himself. You know, it's funny. There is a name for me on the live streams, and most of you guys know it. It's called GreenBean, and today is the real version because it is freezing where I am. It's like not even 40 degrees, or it's like 40, 41. It's going around. I'm outside of Hershey, Pennsylvania. It is raining. It is wet. It is freezing, and I'm outside because that's where it has to happen. That's where the space is. So, we're going to make this one a little shorter if I could shut up for a few minutes. You know how that goes. I'm quite the talker, as they say. So, hello everybody. This is GreenBean. This is the Jets pod. I'm happy that you're here. You got lots going on in the Jets realm right now. We have a lot of things to discuss. Exciting things. Before we do that, I'd like to remind you that you can like this video and subscribe. Don't worry. You can wait till the end. You can see if you like it or not. You don't have to do it right now, although if you're like me, you might forget. You go, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then something else comes. Your wife comes in and says, hey, can you do this? And next thing you know, you didn't like or subscribe. And that's not good. Who wants to do that? Nobody. So if you get the opportunity, like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be notified whenever I go live. We've been doing Tuesday extra bonus, whatever fests. We do the Thursday thick of it. All kinds of good stuff. So don't forget as well, my coaster tour is picking up, man. We just did 4 parks this week, including Hershey Park and Knoebels here in Pennsylvania. After doing a Maryland Park, Adventure Park, USA, and Funland of Fredericksburg and Busch Gardens down in Virginia. And it is coming close to our big Jetsfan meetup at the Coney Island Cyclone, May 15th. Guys, I hope you all are able to come. We're going to have a blast. We're going to stuff Nathans in each other's mouths. It's going to be great. And we're going to ride that coaster built in 1924 together as Jets fans. It's going to be a good time. That's May 15th, 11 a.m. in front of the Coney Island Cyclone. But you can find all of my coaster tour happenings at Full-Time Coaster Tour on YouTube. FullTimeCoasterTour.com is where our blogs are, where our blogs will be. There's a few up there now. And our map, and you can see what's going on and all that. And don't forget, too, you can also go over to Jetnation.com. You can see On the Road with GreenBean on the Jetnation YouTube page and in the forums there. There's more Jets talk as it starts to whittle down, and this is the quiet season. They're going to try to keep us engaged, but this is the quiet season. You can't shake it. And if you need Jets talk, right here and on Jetnation.com, it's all you're going to need. So don't forget about that. Now, guys, one thing I wanted to touch base on is I'm getting a lot of questions now that Neville Hewitt and Arthur Mollett signed with teams, one with Pittsburgh and one with the Texans, respectively. Actually, that worked out. I didn't plan it, but that's where they signed. Do they affect our comp pick formula? And I'm sad to say the answer is no. Number one, we're a little too far behind. We're four in the black, or in the red, I should say. We're 4 in the red, and signing 2 wouldn't get us out anyway. But even so, like let's say Brian Poole and Harvey Lange and Peanut and Bradley McDougal and all those guys, let's say if they all sign, it's still not going to affect anything because the end of the comp pick, what's the word? What is it? Validation? That the qualification, here it is. Sheesh. The end of the qualifying of the comp pick thing is May 3rd. Guys, it's freezing. I can't even type. My you know when your fingers get all cold? I'm like, I can't do anything. I can't. I got a little tiny heater right here. It's doing nothing except I can put my fingers near it so I can type. That's all I got. But my brain is cold. So unfortunately, those fellas don't count against our salary cap, and this is what smart teams do, man. Look, in the beginning of free agency, it's a feeding frenzy. So you have to sign your guys, you have to run out there and win those bidding wars. You have to do that. But when there are guys that are going to be there for a little bit, you can talk to them. You say, hey, look, Mr. Poole, or let's use Neville Hewitt. So the Texans call Neville Hewitt. He's not getting many other calls. He's out there for a while. And they say, look, man, if you wait until this day, here's what we're going to give you. Okay? We need you to hang out. You know why. We want to be able to get comp picks. So the Ravens do it every year. The Patriots do it every other year. Steelers like to do it, and they benefit from the comp pick formula for that reason. So they basically waited till right after eligibility requirements were over, and then they just signed them. So you're going to start to see some guys signed, guys like Sherman, Justin Houston, and then guys for us, like I said, like Brian Poole, Harvey Lange, and the like. All those fellas are going to start getting scooped up because they no longer count against the comp pick formula. So this year, like I do every year, I keep track of it. I like to see where we are. I like to see if we're getting closer. I really would like to see Joe Douglas put a premium on that. Don't forget, man, we trade people away like Avery Williamson, like Leonard Williams and Steve McClendon for thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths. And this way, you don't have to do that. So once you have your foundation underneath you, like teams such as the Ravens and Steelers, you can do that. You can wait a little bit. You don't need to sign players in free agency in the same fashion as teams like the Jets and Jaguars and Detroit Lions and all those guys do. So, unfortunately, next year we'll talk about it again, as I always do, but it's not going to happen. We're not going to get any comp picks. If we did, it would be some sort of weird loopholes that Joe Douglas jumped through. I just don't see it, knowing what I know about the formula. And the equation itself, I just don't see it. So that's sad. It's sad to know that in a year, again, I'm going to have a bad day. I know it. It's coming. I have a bad day every year. I go through this whole thing. I'm like, this is bullshit, man. That's what I do every year. And I'll make videos and write stuff about it and blah, blah, blah. So, to you guys who asked me the questions, I got quite a few who asked similar questions concerning this, which is cool. I like to see that you guys are paying attention to it. I like Jets fans to know stuff. I like us to be what I call an informed fan base. You can get into arguments with fans all the time, or discussions sometimes with fans of other teams, and within 5 seconds, they're like, this guy's an idiot. I don't need to do this with him. So if you get... this is how I see it, okay? So, I walk through this world with a Jets hat on. So, people always like to poke. It's the way it is. Like, for example, we were at Knoebels yesterday, which is just an amazing theme park in Pennsylvania. If you haven't been, man, it's probably my favorite on the whole tour so far. I'm telling you, it's like going into the past, and it's amazing. Amazing. So we were getting on the Phoenix, which has been voted the #1 wooden coaster in the world more than once, and it was amazing. What an amazing coaster, man. It's just so good. Lots and lots of floater air time and ejector, actually. So we were getting on, and my son wears his Jets mask, and it says New York Jets on it. And the guy said, I'm sorry, son, you're not allowed on this coaster. And he said, why? He got nervous for a second. He said, we don't let Jets fans on this coaster. And I get it. That was fun. That's fun. That's the kind of stuff we should be able to do. I didn't take any offense, but it's just funny. That's the kind of thing that happens when you walk through the world in a Jets hat or a Jets mask, in my son's case. So sometimes you can get into really good banter with people. You have good discussions. What do you think of your team? What do you think of your team? Sometimes you sign a player from their team. It can be really good most of the time, but every now and then you get some punk ass who wants to start to poke at you because you're a Jets fan. And if you're an informed fan, within 5 seconds the guy isn't worth it. He doesn't know anything. I'm not going to argue with somebody who doesn't even know what they're talking about. All they know is they look at a record. They don't know anything. So that's why I like my Jets fan brethren to be informed. That's why I like us to know. So then when guys like the press that we have around, they start to say stuff and you go, no, dude, that's absolutely incorrect. You don't know what you're talking about. Rather than allowing them to seep into our skin and get us all riled up and go, well, that doesn't look good. That sucks. And then you have a bad day or a miserable night or whatever it is. Fuck that. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's why I like you guys to be smarter, which is the whole purpose of the Monday Night Mocks. Like, yeah, we want to have fun, but it's all about learning those little nuances, those wrinkles. How does a football team really function? What is a GM really doing? What do they think? 15 years ago, we were walking around as Jets fans. Most of the fans I would see, they didn't know who the GM was. They didn't know anything. They were just like, yeah, I love my team. I hope the guy we signed is good. The guy we dread, the quarterback we have. You'd be in the stadium parking lot and you're talking to people and you're like, who's your favorite player? They're like, Namath. It's like, okay, man. I mean, that's fine. It's fine. People can do whatever they want to do, right? They can like what they want to like and have the information levels and knowledge bases that they want. That's all cool. But for me, I want to know who I should get into discussions with. I only have so much time on this planet, man. I want to waste a half hour talking to some guy who still thinks Mark Sanchez is the quarterback. You know what I mean? Or that our general manager is, Steve Polian. Like, hey, it's like, isn't there a Polian art? Like, cool, yeah, man. Yeah, listen, you have a good day. Go Jets. That's how I see it, man. That's how I see it. And not to say I'm the best, I'm still learning myself, but it's just I have a certain level that I'm at. And I like to have those conversations. I like to listen to guys who know what they're talking about. So I go, that's interesting. I didn't know that. There's lots of shit I don't know. So comp pick questions they tickle me. They tickle my little fancy. Yes, they do. So I like that sort of thing. And I like when guys are, I get guys that send me all kinds of lists of like collections of information they put together. And guys, I wish I could reply sooner. Like I try to get to all you guys, as I'm sure you realize by now. It takes a long time, man. It does. It takes a long time to get through all my emails, all the comments, all the Jetnation stuff. It does. It takes a long time. I do spend hours and hours each week doing it. But man, when I do see it, it's like, yeah, this is great. There are guys that have put things together. Just like look at Big Green is a guy that pops into all the live streams and he writes me all the time. He's the guy who had the idea for the contest to get viewers into the full first round mock that we did. And I was like, yeah, man, like I love that. Guys are sending me stuff all the time and I love it and I thank you. But that's an informed fan base. Like guys asking me questions, awesome. Guys sending me stuff that I don't know, awesome. Guys telling me, hey, look, you said this and it's actually this. I don't need that shit. Get out of here. I'm just kidding. That's awesome too. I try to know before I speak. That's the thing. I do my best, right? So I hate looking like an idiot, don't you? Is that what I'm doing? I don't know. So, anywho, we had our rookie mini camp this week. I'm sure it wasn't as cold there as it is here, guys. I'll tell you. I can't believe how cold it is. There's a wind. But we had our rookie mini camp, and there were some really cool things that came out of it. Number one, we heard from the players. I enjoyed listening to their excitement. It seems as though the draft picks this year kind of have a sense that things are changing around here. Like, yeah, we're the Jets. Like, dude, you have to know that they know where they're going. And look, guys know the better they are, the worse team they're going to. That's part of it, right? They know the system. They know the deal. And it's still exciting to get picked early. It is. And then there's the money aspect. But just even aside from all that, it's still a great thing. This is what you've been dreaming for. The Jacksonville Jaguars picked me. Yeah, man, let's go Jags. I'm going to change everything. I get it. But they know where they're going, and there can be less excitement. Like I'm sure last year's class was like, oh, Adam Gase. Ugh. They know. So this year, though, they seem to have this idea in their heads. And a few of them mentioned it. Elijah Moore They mentioned, like, things are changing. Zach Wilson, things look different around here. Like, we're not here to play games, man. This is a tight rookie class. They're already communicating. You hear all the stories about, Elijah Moore was saying Zach Wilson's blowing him up, and he's reaching out to Elijah Vera Tucker, and it's just so nice to hear this stuff, because these guys are our future, right? When you take a quarterback second overall and then trade up to get an offensive lineman to go next to last year's first round pick offensive lineman, and then you take, with your first pick outside the first round, you had a first round grade on it, an electric wide receiver. Like, these are the guys, man. Denzel Mims, Elijah Moore, Zach Wilson, Elijah Vera Tucker, Mekhi Becton, Michael Carter. These are the guys. They're going to be here a long time. And you couple that with the free agent signings like Corey Davis, you like Keelan Cole, and then you add that to the list of guys. These are our foundational pieces. So seeing them running around, Zach Wilson looked crisp. I mean, I didn't see too much. It wasn't like blowing me away. It's they're insurance. It's fine. But he looked good, and it's all about those guys being out there on the field together, running around, getting to know one another, learning the plays, talking about it. That's what we want to see. And it happens every year. That's no different. But these guys, this is the core, man. This is it. Last year's class, this year's class, these are the guys. I mean, what if we do sign Marcus May, which I'll get to in a second. If we do sign Marcus May, he's going to be one of, look how many draft picks that Mac brought in. Obviously, Quinnen Williams in that draft class. But from a few years ago, there's no one. It's that whole batch of players that we all hope. Remember that poster? It had Leonard Williams and Jamal Adams and Sam Darnold and all these guys on it. Chris Herndon, he's still around. But it's like, you looked at the poster and you said, yeah, man, we got some players here. These are some players. Dude, they're gone. That whole group. Chris Herndon's still here. Marcus May. So there could be a couple guys that pop over. But overall, man, that whole group is gone. So what we're looking at right now, this is the core, the foundation of the team. When you put that next to Denzel Mims, Mekhi Becton, Cam Clark, Ashton Davis, guys, Bryce Hall, these are the foundational pieces that are going to be here for a long time. And at least 4 or 5 years, right? Unless they completely suck, which, I don't know. It doesn't look like any of them are going to. We got our top 4 this year. Dude, that's good. They're good players, man. I feel really good about our top 4. And I feel really good about our top 3 last year. And our 5th round pick. So anyway, we had a rookie mini camp. It's nice to see them running around. One of my favorite pictures that I saw, and there was some video too, was Zach Wilson, Elijah Moore, I think it was Michael Carter, and the mammoth, Kenny Yeboah, acting as if, that's right, you guys were picked in the 1st and 2nd round. I was an undrafted free agent, but I'm with you. And that's it. And he was right there with them. And he looked like a monster, didn't he? He looked like a monster. He's running around, Zach Wilson throwing him passes. Man, if that guy ends up being a thing, like I think he's gonna, man, did we have a nice group of players come in here. So it was really exciting. I'm going through all of the news, all the little opinions, and there's not much, right? It's like it's a lot of people spinning and saying the same things over and over. But here's the most important thing. It's begun. It's begun, Jets fans. Our new guard, the changing of the guard is complete. And the new staff, the new team, they're here. They're here. And when you look at like Robert Saleh running around Ulbricht, which it's funny, I had somebody send me a short video of Ulbricht, and they said, how the hell did you get on the field? What is this? And I was like, that's not me. That's Ulbricht. It's our defensive coordinator. But I realized, like, yeah, that guy does kind of look like me. It's just a gray beard, of course, but it was funny. You see him running around, barking orders. Man, I like it. Now, the funniest thing I heard out of rookie minicamp was from Robert Saleh, when he talked about after practice settling in to listen to the head coach. And he said, "Oh yeah, that's me." Isn't that charming? I don't know. I was charmed by that. It made me smile. It did. Because Robert Saleh doesn't seem to be caught up in how people view him. It's like he's very real. He's very natural. It's like, yeah, man, I completely spaced out. I thought I was an assistant coach. Like, I was waiting for the head coach to give his end of the practice speech. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to do that. I'm the head coach. And for a split second, he had that moment. He realized that I'm the head coach here, man. And that's so cool that he was okay with saying that. Like Adam Gase, these guys, he wouldn't say that. It wouldn't be light like that. It's just Todd Bowles. I don't think Todd Bowles would ever admit to a thing like that. They don't, like Todd Bowles, when you look at his coaching staff, it was a lot of guys that weren't really all that, they weren't the best at their job. You know what I mean? It seemed like he almost, and this could be off base, this is my opinion, but it seemed like he almost was kind of threatened by people being really good at their job, which I think is why Morton got let go, or at least a part of it. He's kind of doing his own thing. It was successful, and Bowles didn't want that shit, so he got rid of him. So anyway, it's and whether or not that's all true, those guys, I don't know. But I will say that it doesn't matter, because I liked how Robert Saleh handled it. I like how he just openly admitted, yeah, man, I didn't know. I forgot I was the head coach for a second. It's it has a childlike, endearing quality to it, which on top of his really brash kind of intensity, he needs a get back coach and all that sort of stuff. It's I think another wrinkle and another layer on why players like him. It's he's real. He tells you. He's not afraid to say, "Oh yeah, I didn't know," or "Yeah, that was my bad, my mistake, man. No sweat. Let's move past it. Let's go." That's the kind of thing. Players like that, when there's the word that encapsulates that is authenticity, and that's let me tell you, these guys aren't stupid. We didn't draft a bunch of people. It's not 53 idiots running around the field. They know, man. They know who they want to put their body on the line for, which I think had a little something to do with all of our injuries the last few years. I mean, it's legit, which is why Joe Douglas fixed the entire medical department. But on top of that, it's look, if there was an injury that somebody could play through, if it meant something, we would have seen it. We didn't see any of that. This guy, look, my hamstring hurts. My toe bent back. I don't like that. I'm going to go sit down. Why? Because we're down 44-0, and I don't give a shit. That's why. And Adam Gase he's sitting alone on the sideline. He doesn't even talk to me in 3 weeks. Why am I going to put my body on the line? I'm going to wait till this is over and get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? So, Saleh, with authenticity comes loyalty, and that's the guy you want to follow. So that comment to me, there was lots of things that they said this week that I liked. He's always a really great practice. Zach Wilson seems to be learning the playbook. Blah blah blah. Yeah. That's all great. It's all great. We hear that shit every week, though. Every year. I mean, yeah, he's really picking it up. Remember last year, Perryman? Oh, my God, the way Sam Darnold throws the ball. It's the perfect ball for a wide receiver. It's soft. It's a catchable ball. Yeah. Everybody got all psyched. Yeah, man. Perryman's never played with a quarterback like Sam Darnold. Yeah, it's going to be great. That's the stuff every year. It's when you have to tell us something, and you know what I mean? Do you see the difference when somebody has to tell you something as opposed to what you realize by what they're naturally doing? Those are big differences, man. Sam Darnold's passes are the best I've ever caught. Okay. Or I forgot I was the head coach. And and made light about it. You don't he didn't say, and that's how you know I am of this or that or this or this. No, he just said, yeah, man, I completely I forgot. I'm so used to doing the other thing that for a moment I was waiting for the head coach to speak. Everybody's staring at me. And then you make out of, he didn't tell us anything. He's not telling us what, he's just, that's what you make out of that, what you will, He's not telling us anything to get us excited, but what I heard was authenticity. What I heard was humor, charm, realism, you know, as I search for words. And that's the difference, man. It's like, he's not saying, oh, Zach Wilson is the best, these are the best passes I've ever caught. Okay, that's great if it was, man. I'm not saying that it wasn't. I'm just saying these are the types of things that are said to get us excited, to kind of find the positivity. But with Robert Saleh so far, I don't see anybody trying to make me feel positive. I just feel positive by what he says and does while doing his job. And that's what I like. Even Rex, who I will never shit on those 2 years. Really, the 3 year. 2011 was kind of all right, too, at times, but we had that off season. It was so bad. But, I'll never tear down those 2 years that Rex gave us, man. Never. But when you look back at it, he had an inability to, when we started losing, to change course. He had to keep the bluster off because it wasn't authentic. There's a difference, man. Like I said, I love Rex. Loved him. Still love him. The whole thing. I'm grateful for those 2 of the best years of being a Jets fan in my whole life. No doubt. But there was a character there. I think a lot of it was genuine, but there was a spin to it. There was a creation aspect to it. I don't see that with Robert Saleh yet. And that's why I think it might work. And that's why it's exciting. So when you look at this foundational, rookie mini camp, it's like, look at these guys. Look at Yeboah running around with Elijah Moore. He's an undrafted free agent and the second overall pick. the second round pick. So he's essentially a first round pick, right? Right? You with me on that one? Yeah, me too. So he's a first round pick. That's what he is. Screw this. Elijah Moore is a first round pick, man. But so Kenny Yeboah is running around there. All these guys are running around. Old Brick's barking out orders to his new young athletes. Everybody's an athlete, man. The speed, the competition, everything's going to be raised because the guys in charge know that's what it takes. It's not about them. Like what Robert Saleh said to Zach Wilson on the phone. Hey, we're going to pick you up. Don't feel like you have to come here and pick us up. Don't think that. That's not the case. It's the opposite. Our job is to create an environment where you succeed. We're not bringing you in here to be the savior, man. That shit was real. Why did he say that? Because he's a number 2 overall pick, and that's what everybody's saying. The savior. The Jets need a savior. Who's going to be the savior? How many debates have you seen? Well, one guy's it's not the answer, Who doesn't know that? Who doesn't know that one guy's not the answer? But that's what we read. The next savior, the savior. I'm using these as earmuffs right now. It's so warm in my headphones. Ooh. Guys, it's freezing. It's just above actual freezing, so nothing's frozen. But boy, let me tell you, and you see the wind, it's like it keeps blowing through and it's so cold. So there you have that. The rookie minicamp is behind us. I love rookie minicamp. I love that a week ago, they weren't Jets and now they're on the field at the facility. I love it. I love it. I love seeing our new guys run around. So... And we got a good class, a big class. 22 guys were just brought into our fold. 22. Now, a lot of them aren't going to make it, man. That's the truth. But I doubt we're going to see our third-round pick. Well, we don't have any third-round picks, but I doubt we're going to see Michael Carter, our first fourth-round pick, cut before the season starts. You know what I'm getting at? Right. So here's another big one. So Zach Wilson's number. Woo! Everybody's freaking out, right? So is 2 the number? I saw such a heated debate. It got to the point online where I actually chose not even to get involved. So this is a fucking meat grinder about why certain numbers shouldn't be chosen. So I wondered, what is it about the number thing? Like, it's funny because I actually have some opinions on like the new number change for receivers and defensive backs. They could take single numbers or teens and everything. I don't like that. I don't. But I know why. It's just because I grew up different. It's been that way my whole life. I don't like it. I like that they come to college or come from college to the NFL and it's different. It's like the big leagues. Now you do that stuff in college. It's like the two-toe rule, you know? Like, I like receivers that know to touch both their toes to the field before they go out of bounds. I like that. Like, I like that it's different here. You know, like when you get up here, yeah, that one toe shit, that's good in school, but you better step up and figure this out. You know, that's why I like guys that already start working on that in college, not just do the necessary to, you know what I mean, to get to where they need to go. Like, I'm just doing enough. That's why I like guys like Kenny Yeboah, who was a wide receiver, saw that it wasn't working, gained 35 pounds of muscle over a 2.5-year period. Worked so hard to change positions. I like guys that identify the thing that they're going to need to do and do it. I like that. Now, so I digress, man. You see where I go? See, I'm about to start talking about the 1990s, 80s. Okay, I'm back. So with the number thing, I liked it. I always looked at like a wide receiver, even like when Keyshawn came out and picked number 19. I was like, what? I liked it because nobody had done it yet, really. So I was like, okay, it's kind of his thing. I get it. It's his thing. And then it like opened the floodgates and all that stuff. So, but wide receivers wearing teens, that was okay. But in my child, like it was 80s were wide receivers, right? You never had 10 of them, so it didn't matter. It's just, you know, you had the 80s. Whoever was here had 80. Whatever wide receiver, 84, 87, 86, and so on. Now they're, you know, 13. Like, that's a quarterback. What is this craziness? It's like I think the best number for a quarterback is 14. Why? Because I grew up and Danny White was number 14, I think. I don't know. And they were good. That's probably why. But I liked, I think Richard Todd was 14 too. So that's, you know, that was my first Jets quarterback. So it just made sense, 14. But so I definitely have an opinion, right? But it's like never anything I'm going to get all crazy about. So now we have a quarterback who's coming into the league. He wore the number 1 all through college. So the thought was he'll keep number 1, right? He'll keep the number 1. And that'll be easy. And then he's like, no, he shouldn't do that. Or yeah. And it all started. He should change his number for, you know, when he comes into the NFL or, okay, so he wants to change his number. Then it got into the debate that 3s and 4s, which I subscribe to, are really kicker. Like, that's how I see 2, 3, and 4. It's kickers. That's what I see. Right? 3 is fucking Pat Leahy, man. That's what I see. But anyway, so this debate got so heated, like with teens versus singular numbers, and if Zach Wilson should change it, that I was like, wow, so people really feel intense about this. So they have real feelings about this. So I don't know why that is, because I don't have those same feelings, but I do have feelings toward the new rule change, right? And I explained why. So, but it's not going to change it's not going to get me mad, okay, one way or the other. So I had a comment from Phil Adams, one of my UK listeners, right? Just the guys from the UK. He's always there. I'm so grateful for his support, and I love the UK and Germany and all those guys. I love that they're into this with us. It just tickles me, right? I really dig it. So Phil Adams says to me, I'm going to read you his comment. Okay, this is cool. He says, the jersey numbers thing has extra kudos for some of us in the UK. As a kid, our football, in parentheses, soccer, was numbered 1 to 12, and for rugby, it's 1 to 13 or 1 to 15. That was it. To see a player with 52 or 95 on his back was super cool. It was total Americana. So for me, anything under 15 is kind of boring, with total respect to number 12, of course. I like what you did there. I like it. The bigger the number, the cooler it is. The higher the number for Wilson, the better. Go Jets. Badass. Isn't that a good one? That's Phil Adams, a regular listener and commenter from the UK. Guy talks to me every single week, and I love it. I love you, Phil Adams. I do. I think it's just incredibly awesome. I love that we have access to each other like that across the ocean, you know? So, but what a good point. And that's the thing. Everybody has like this point of view. Like when you say the word, it's my point of view, you forget where that term comes from. Point of view. It's where I see. It's the viewpoint. It's where I stand. Like, so if I'm looking for something and somebody's on the roof, I'm like, yeah, I can't see if there's if the thing's over there. He's like, yeah, I see it. I'm like, yeah, is it really there? I'm telling you, I can see it. I have a different point of view. I have a different vantage point. I see things other than you see things because I stand in a different place. Or somebody around the corner. They're like, yeah, she's over here. Nah, she left. No, I'm telling you, she's over. I'm looking. She's nowhere. She left. She's right there, dude. Because I'm on the car. I could see past around the building, dickhead. So that's the interesting thing. Like, so for Phil Adams out there in the UK, his point of view is from a fan of rugby and football, soccer. So it's like, yeah, 1 to 12, 1 to 15. So when they see somebody running around with 52, yeah, look at that guy. It's just a little more thrilling. Like he said, Americana. It's cool. So I can really appreciate that. And even though other fans, you know, from the United States, like you might not have such a dramatic stance or anything, but I get it. Everybody's point of view is different. And that's like for me, like I look at 14 and then subsequently 10, 12, right? Like I look at those numbers, like those are quarterbacks. Once you start going down, 7 I like too, because I'm a big Kenny O, and then Boomer, right? We had 7s. And I mean, I know we've had 6 and 3, or not 3, but 4. I get it. But it's like, as we start to go down there, like, yeah, Brett Favre is Brett Favre. I don't associate the number 4 with a quarterback. So for me, I prefer 14. That's why I liked Sam's 14. He didn't do much for us, sadly. But let me tell you, it's the least of which the sad things is his friggin' number. I'll tell you that. But, yeah, I just think the whole debate's interesting. So hearing that from Phil Adams, it kind of realigned my thinking, readjusted me a little bit. I said, you know what? Somebody else probably has the point of view of like, man, the 14 sucks. Like, I like somebody younger who's more into college ball or something. It's like it resonates with them a little bit more to have 2 or 1. Like 1, number 1, yeah. Like, to me, I'm like, really? So I think the lesson in this for me, and maybe for somebody else, is like, hey, who gives a shit? Let him pick whatever the hell he wants to pick. So somebody said that he was the number 2 pick in the draft, so he's taking number 2 as his number. I don't even know if it's been confirmed yet that that's his official number. It could have just been a minicamp thing. But that's good, right? If that's the reason, yeah, I was a number 2 pick in the draft, and I want to take number 2 to kind of really drive that home with myself, my responsibility or so. Yeah, okay, dude. All right. I like that. I'm in. And I'm in anyway. If he's like, I'm going to pick number, I don't even know. What could be the weirdest number? I'm going to pick number 20. I don't even know if you can do that. 19. It's like, boo. But I would be in. I'm going to be number 19. Like, ugh. Even though I like 14, 19 sucks. Why? I don't know. So there it is. So anyway, it looks like Zach Wilson's going to be number 2. And I guess it'll be number 2. And we'll root, won't we? The 14 lovers, you'll be there too. Right with the number 1 and 2 lovers. There's a guy right now somewhere like, yes! Number 2! Good for you, buddy. I mean it. Good for you. Congrats on winning the battle. It's a funny, funny world. But anyway, Phil Adams, man, thank you, buddy. Thank you. Because that's awesome that you sent that comment and you adjusted my entire framework of my thoughts. And that's why it's cool to actually listen to people instead of going, no, like while they're talking. No, but. Just fucking listen for a second. Maybe they're going to say something that shuffles up your chess pieces, you know? You go, oh, I didn't think of that. Now that I have that information, I'm going to do this. Yeah. You know? Gotta listen. So number 2 it is. So let's talk about number 20, who used to be number 26 until Le'Veon Bell came. Remember? Is he going to go and change his number again? Somebody was saying that. I don't know. So Marcus May, who I got pretty strong indication that they were floating him. They were floating him before the draft. They dangled him. So, but they were obviously wanted certain value, and if they didn't get certain value, it wasn't worth losing him. Now, it's not confirmed, right? I will say that, but the person who told me is pretty good. So I think that was interesting stuff. I gotta say though, even though I'm kind of a draft pick, vacuum, I love them. Give me more draft picks. I really am. There's something wrong with me. It has to do with gambling, I think. I'm like, let me scratch it. That's what I think. It's like a chance. What? Door number 3. Take $1,000 or door number 3. I'm like, fuck yeah, door number 3. It's like, you wore old tennis shoes. Like, That game was my favorite. Let's make a deal. Hell yeah. If you got a pen in your purse, I'll give you $100. Oh. I love that game. So, but I gotta say, in all honesty, like I like Marcus May, and I would like to see one or two of these guys squeak through. It's like I want to like Chris Herndon. I do. I don't very much because of what he's done. It has nothing to do with, I don't dislike him, or nor do I want him to suck. I would much prefer Chris Herndon to come out of the dark and be the best tight end in the league. Nothing would make me happier where he is concerned. That said, I don't see it. I don't see it happening, right? So, with Marcus May, I would really love to see a few of these guys kind of come through and make our rooting worth something, right? So I saw a report just this morning that not only is Joe Douglas going to turn his focus onto Marcus May now, but the word that I saw was frantically. Now, I don't know where frantic would come in. I mean, he's not going anywhere. You got him. He's ours. But maybe what they meant to say was aggressively. That would be better. But frantically didn't make any sense. But I still think I got the point, which is they really want to sign Marcus May. They want to lock him up long term. And that makes me happy because I think he's good. Now, I think a lot of Jets fans overstate how good he is. I think he's very good. And those are you want very good players back there. And I think it would make a lot of sense to have somebody who's been around here, can speak to the way it was to the newer guys, and kind of has been forged by our fire. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, sure, Carl Lawson, that's great. He came from Cincinnati. He's been through some, the ringer as well. But Marcus May, Chris Herndon, those guys, they were forged in our fire. Even Quinnen Williams to a lesser extent. But I like that. Like, if we can keep him around, as long as it's not, like, ridiculous, like $16 million a year or something dumb like that. I would really not like that. I'd like to see Marcus May somewhere between $9 and $12 million a year, like 11.2. All right, okay. I'd really love like a 10.5. That's what I think. Now, I'm not the number guy. It's just when I look at the collective, the whole, that's what makes sense to me. But either way, I like the idea that Joe Douglas is like, nah, man, I gave him the franchise tag because I didn't want him to go anywhere. I want him. So we didn't get anything done, but I was doing something else at the time. So now that's done. The big job is complete, and I'm going to turn my sights on the most valuable player that we have. That's free agent next year, undrafted, not undrafted. Unrestricted. It's freezing. Did I tell you guys how cold it was out here? So I like it, man. I think that's good. I think that's a good thing. Let's see how Chris Herndon does. But I'm going to tell you right now, even though Kenny Yeboah was an undrafted free agent, like you heard, they had a 4th-round grade on him. That's right where I had it. It was like 3rd to 5th round. I thought Kenny Yeboah was not making it past the 5th round. That's right where I had it. Right in that pocket. I probably would have went a little higher, like in the end of the 3rd, pick 86 or 107. That's where I would have taken Kenny Yeboah. So we got him as an undrafted free agent. Skiddly do, man. I'm in. But I think he's a little better than undrafted free agent status would warrant. He's a little better. He's raw. He's got work to do on his blocking and route running specifically. But he's a quality player, guys. And I think Chris Herndon's on notice. Number one, we got some guys in here that can block, and Kenny Yeboah is going to be working his ass off. He's known to have good work ethic. Lane Kiffin speaks highly of him. Matt Rule speaks very highly of him. So those are legit dudes. So they're not going to just say positive things for somebody who's a shitbag, who sucks. So Kenny Yeboah is coming. Now, we might not see this guy who lights up the league this year. But we're going to see him. And so Chris Herndon better know. Better recognize this particular situation. I hope he does. So that all said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. We're about 15 minutes longer than I thought anyway. So I love you guys. It's good to hang. It's good to see you. I'm coming to New Jersey. I'm coming tomorrow, man. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll let you guys know I have a couple contests going on. See if you guys can spot me riding around and stuff like that. We're going to do the big Coney Island meetup, and I have the Jersey Shore Coaster Tour on May 22nd. I'd love it if you guys could support and pledge. If you have the capabilities to do so, it'd be great. We're going to help that pet rescue in New Jersey keep their doors open. So that all said, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's going to be a good year, man. It's going to be a good year, but I'll see you soon. And I'll see you on the Talking Jets panel and all the other stuff. So until then, have a great week. You keep on keeping on. Huh? Go Jets.